it's happening again with Manchester United players. Absolutely underperforming for club. Then as soon as they go on international duty, it's a different world altogether. Why is this happening constantly? I'm going to discuss why, where United's players, of which there were 6 last night playing in international duty, and where they're playing, why they're doing so well. Marcus Rashford slaughtered and slammed by the second ex-Manchester United player within a week for what he's doing on the pitch as well. We'll touch on that as well, and why certain Manchester United players need to take a good look at themselves. Or is it the other way around? Is there something else stopping these players? Let's get the discussion going. It is early morning, Friday morning. There's no football this weekend. Obviously, international duty is here to give us a little bit of a reminder of what decent football can actually be accomplished with Manchester United players. That's the interesting thing of all. I've always had this problem, and I wanted to discuss it with you guys this morning and get your opinions on it as well. So please get in the live chat. Please make sure that you give the video a like. Let's get as many likes up, close to 1,000 as we possibly can on this video. Make sure you have subscribed as well and hit that bell notification button so you can get involved in this chat and not miss out on any of the content that we do interactively every single day live. 3 times a day, I might add as well. And it's free, so get in. And most importantly, get commenting. I want to know what you guys think about what I'm about to say and talk about regarding the players and the difference between international duty freedom and expression to play and all of this compared to the hampering and the shackles and the sheer volume of underperformance every single time in the United shirt. I was running out of words to actually describe what I actually thought of United players and how they play for club and the difference to country then. But let's get into what's actually happened and give us an update on everything that's going on with United players. Obviously, we like to keep a track of international duty. No one really cares that much for it, but there are some interesting things to take from it. First of all, Manchester United players not getting injured and getting game time and recovery time for players that are due to come back from injury. Very, very important, obviously, because we're expecting some players back for the Southampton game. So I've said this before, I said it on another show. It's good that we've got players that are injured coming back in the recovery process right now that are getting time off. United not playing games while these players recover, and we can sort of have a little bit of a catch-up. Let them players get up to speed with where the rest of the team is at. So going into that, last night, Manchester United had a few players out playing for their international teams. Diogo Dalot had an eventful one, scoring 2, 1 in his own net, mind, and 1 in the goal. Congratulations to Cristiano Ronaldo on his 900th career goal. I think I heard him in an interview saying he's not going to stop until he gets 1,000. Oh, God, he's going to be into his bleeding 50s, isn't he, before he stops bleeding playing this guy. Mental. So obviously Bruno Fernandes as well. Another 90 minutes for both Dalot and Bruno. So that's 4 90-minute games for them two alone already this season. You can see why I've banged on about the squad rotation and keeping players fully fit and fresh already. Literally, when there's not seemed like there's many games, Bruno and Dalot have it 4 90 minutes already. It's crazy what them guys go through. But ever presence and a credit to both of them players for actually always being available and never being injured. Like you can't really deny the fact that Dalot and Bruno are the most reliable players at Manchester United. When it comes to actually being available anyway, they are the standouts, aren't they, them two? So we had them two. Then, obviously, we had our Argentinian contingent. Argentina ranked number 1 in the world, and we've got 2 players in that team. Martinez played about 76 minutes as well last night. Garnacho came off the bench for the last 15, got an assist as well for... Bruno got an assist as well, should have said, for Portugal. And obviously, Garnacho got an assist. A little assist. It wasn't really much of an assist, to be honest. A little layoff, and Dybala did the rest. But good result for both of them. And yeah, promising results for most of Manchester United's international players last night. And then the last one was Christian Eriksen. Why are we talking about this? Why is it important? Well, it's important because Manchester United players are failing in the United shirt but prospering in their international colours. Why is this? Bruno Fernandes has come under loads of criticism. He isn't the focal point in that Portugal side. He doesn't even play in the middle in that Portugal side. In their 4-3-3, they play with Bruno on the left-hand side, and he is more effective. He looks more disciplined when he plays for Portugal. I don't understand it. Is this simply down to coaching? Is this simply down to giving Bruno Fernandes too much, let's just say, too much of a free role when playing for Manchester United? I look at him when he's playing for Portugal, and he is a million times more disciplined. It cannot be that difficult to implement what's happening in Portugal and put it into action at Manchester United. Look, Dalot from his side, he just does his thing on the right hand side. Good performance, apart from the own goal, obviously, but good to see him get 90 minutes as well for Portugal, in an outstanding team, by the way. So good that he's holding that down. But Bruno Fernandes, I think, is key. And why I want to talk about the difference between club and country right now, because you can tell when Bruno's playing for Portugal, he has players around him, and you could say it's because he's got better players around him. That, again, I think is a big thing. Obviously, when you've got better players, you play better football and you are more confident in your teammates. Is it just a case of that? I'm asking the questions like, why is this happening? But you have to look at where he plays. Vitinha plays in the middle. Bruno plays on the left-hand side. And then you've got Bernardo Silva on the right-hand side of the three. Obviously, technical skills coming out of every single department right there in that midfield three. That is an awesome midfield for Portugal. It really is. But Bruno, I think, because he's out on the left-hand side, is more disciplined in that position. Where he thinks he's in the middle, he's got players either side or plays in front or plays behind for Manchester United, then I think he just goes on this free role. And he tries to do too much because he's the captain of the club. And I feel like that is down to coaching. It has to be down to coaching why Bruno Fernandes performs this way for country and doesn't perform this way for Manchester United. 100% has to be the reason for it. In terms of his positioning at Manchester United and what Erik ten Hag can do, I think it's simple man management. I really do. I think it comes down to man management. And you know what? Is Erik ten Hag too stubborn to actually try and change things up? That's what you've got to look at. Because I'm going to move into the likes of Martinez now. Lisandro Martinez. Manchester United are struggling to, let's just say, plug the gap in the middle of the park. Now, Argentina play with three central defenders. You've got Romero in the middle. You've got Otamendi. How he's still going, I do not know. On the right-hand side. Lisandro Martinez plays on the left of a back three for Argentina. And it suits him. He played another 76 minutes yesterday before being subbed off. But it seems to suit him better being in the three, I feel. And you know what? There is a shout for Manchester United to look into this and actually look at what's available in our team, how we can actually play. And I think implement a lot of what happens for the international players in our team itself. I do believe that United are in a position right now where nobody's going to even kick up a stinker we try changing things up, because we can clearly see the current system is not working. So Lisandro Martinez had his game time and he did well with that last night. Obviously, ranked number 1 in the world. Another 3-0 win over Chile last night in their World Cup qualifier. Garnacho came on off the bench, and you can see there in the quotes at the bottom of your screen from the manager, Lionel Scolari, when he's saying that when Garnacho came on, he understood absolutely everything that he was doing last night. And he did a lot in 15 minutes for Argentina last night. He was an absolute nuisance. You have to watch the highlights back of that game. He did very well and was very good at retaining the ball and using the ball the right way. I think that's something that we need to look at as well at Manchester United. Like, is Garnacho better off the bench? I know we want to start him. I know we want to have him there ahead of Rashford a lot of the time, because Rashford is underperforming massively. But still, you have to look at how you utilise Garnacho. Bringing him in and bringing him out. I think that's the best way at the moment. Does Graham Souness actually have a point where Mainu and Garnacho and these players need to be brought in and out? Do we need to be playing them every single week? Like, Mainu, does he need to play every single week? Can we not change things up? Personally, I don't think we can at the moment, because we've got no one else to play the 8, and that's the only reason that he's playing. But Garnacho, he absolutely shines for Argentina. I think he's loving his time and he's loving his football, but it all looks like they've got freedom. They all look like they know what they're doing. There's an understanding in international football, and these guys don't even spend much time together. They're together, 3 days, and they're already performing the way that they do. It's like it's embedded in. Why is that? Because there's a football philosophy and they stick to the same system constantly. Day in, day out. It never changes. They know exactly what they're doing as soon as they walk through the door. Why does it not look like that at United? That's the killer question. Why are we not getting through to our players like the other managers on international duty are getting through, and the coaches are getting through to them players when they're there? That's the problem that I think Manchester United have, and that is the problem that I feel Erik ten Hag can actually rectify. He can fix this if he's just adaptable, if he's a bit more versatile in what he's actually doing. And I feel like it's clear and obvious, like, these players are not bad players. They are great players, but they are just not being worked right or utilised right, in my opinion. You only have to look, like as I said then, Martinez, Bruno, and Dalot all played, well, Bruno and Martinez played in a different role to what they normally do. Garnacho was played predominantly on the right-hand side for Manchester United there. He's used on the left for Argentina. So you could say, like, yeah, give or take Garnacho because he can play on the left and the right. But Martinez already playing a different role for Argentina, being successful, ranked number 1 in the world. I keep saying that. Bruno Fernandes played in a different role for Portugal, number 8 in the world. Works. Their win ratio is phenomenal. And he fits into a system there that works really well. And you're looking at all of that put together, and you just got to say, look, there is possibilities for United. There is a way out of this for these players. And I feel like United right now are just not getting the best out of these players. For one reason or another, whether it is positionally or system-wise, then we need to be looking into that, I feel. But what is the issue? Like, as soon as they go to country, they turn into different people. I can go back to as far as saying, like, when Harry Maguire went away on international duty that time, and he was saying just even the atmosphere and the vibe and everything, it was just like a breath of fresh air moving away from Manchester United. What is it in building this environment and this culture and this sort of philosophy around, whether it's international football or club football? It just seems to be night and day. And I think we need to tap into what's actually going on that's making these players happy on international duty. And bring that and implement some of that into the club scene as well. Keep liking the video, guys. Over 600 in the room with us on the Friday morning show. Over 100 likes. Let's get them likes up, everyone. We should be at least over 200 by now. Come on, everyone. Let's get motoring. I know weekends are hard when it's international duty, but we're trying to dissect and get the best out of what we're watching what we're watching football-wise with the international scene at the moment. And I've had a good close look at everything that's happened over last night and all of Manchester United's players. And one key one again was our man Christian Eriksen, another player that I thought actually, you know what, last night actually showing he plays on the left of a front three. So again, Denmark, and you look at, and the stats I put Christian Eriksen's stats up there at the bottom for everyone to see on the tweet. Like, he had 4 shots, he's created 1 big chance, his passing accuracy was 88%. Is there other ways that these players can be used, or are United being too rigid in their systems? Look, it's clear as day there are other options United could be doing and could be using. Now, look, international football compared to Manchester United Cup finals every single week is different. I understand the intensity, I understand the difference in everyone coming to play United than it would be for an international for Denmark. And no disrespect to Denmark when I say that, but could Christian Eriksen be used differently when he comes on the pitch? Does he always have to be in that middle of the park, in at number 10? Can he be used late on in games as a different tool for Manchester United? Does it always have to be the natural wingers that are always being coming on the same? Like, if you're looking at Christian Eriksen playing in the front three on the left, then there's another option there instead of Rashford, Garnacho and Ahmad. I know this isn't going to be sustainable and he can't start games there and he hasn't got the pace or the legs to play that role, but if you change your system, it could be anything. It could be him sitting in the middle of a three in midfield in a 3-5-2. It could be a 3-4-3. It could be anything with Christian Eriksen. You've got to look at all of the possibilities that are available, and I feel like United are not. We're just being very stubborn and we're being very one-trick pony, let's just say. We're just not giving... We're not giving... what's the word I'm looking for here? We're not giving anything else a chance. No other way. It's Ten Hag's way or the highway, and he's sticking to this system and trying to get it into the players when these are smart, intelligent players that can do other things as well. And it just looks like we're just not willing to try anything new. And that is the big bugbear in all of this, isn't it? It's like, change it up. These players might suit a different way. And that's my biggest thing to take away from the international scene last night. There are other games to come, and we'll keep an eye on them as well. But so far, so good. Positive results for all. No more injuries. We have updates. The injury updates are coming out that we should have both Rasmus Højlund and Luke Shaw available for the Southampton game. That's the word coming out of the club. Whether or not they'll be used or not, I don't know. I don't think either of them will be, personally, just yet. But they are back in training, and that's the important thing from that. Other news as well I wanted to touch on was Paul Parker going in and slaughtering Marcus Rashford again. Now, we had Teddy Sheringham talking about it. We've had Paul Parker talking about it now. Again, we're talking about international football, and there's a man that is nowhere near the international scene right now, and I don't think he's going to get back into it. I just don't know what is wrong. Like, if you look at Marcus Rashford on a personal level, let's take all of the issues out of it. Let's take all of the personal opinions out of it and everything like that, and his form right now. As a player, you've got to be looking at what's actually happening right now and going, this isn't working. This isn't working. And when I put that poll up last night in the evening show that had who is going to be the first player out of the door at Manchester United next summer, I had Rashford in there, I had Mount in there, Casemiro, Antony. Putting Rashford in there wasn't just out of just the big name who's failing and everyone would want to get rid of because he's been underperforming for so long. It is a real reality. I feel for Marcus Rashford right now, and Alan Shearer said this as well, and that's a third person. So we could say 3 people, ex-pros now, that have gone in on Rashford for his attitude. And Paul Parker's stance was, look, if you're not playing well yourself, you make life as difficult as you possibly can for your opponent. And Rashford just doesn't want to put that work in. He's not working hard enough in Paul Parker's eyes. Alan Shearer said he's lazy as a forward now. He's not a kid anymore. Should be able to look across that line. He was completely comfortable with what he said, even though Eriksen called Alan Shearer stupid in his comments and his analysis of Marcus Rashford. I honestly, I just look at it and I'll go, look, right now, personally, for Marcus Rashford, I feel like United do need to move past him. I feel like he needs to move on as well. I think his England career is over if he stays at Manchester United, is what I'm saying. I do. It sounds like a massive statement. It does, because you would have kick-started your season with the biggest bang ever, not being involved in international football throughout the summer, having a full pre-season, being ready to go, and then to start the season just how you left off. Something is not right. Something does not fit. Whether it is the manager again, and if a new manager comes in, Marcus Rashford might take off again. Does he not believe in Ten Hag? Is he not getting enough attention from Ten Hag or help? I can't see it. United have got an abundance of coaches and staff that are there to help the players. So really, I just don't see how Marcus Rashford can fail with what's there. You've got Ruud van Nistelrooy there, who is the ultimate go-to when it comes to Premier League forwards. And if you cannot learn anything from Ruud, then you have seriously got problems. I just feel like right now, Marcus Rashford, he's in a world of pain, really, with his football career. He doesn't know which way to go. Personally, I think it will be the end for Marcus Rashford this season if he doesn't start up in his game. I think the new structure in place will be brutal, and they will look past players. They will look past youth players. It's like Dan Ashworth said, United now and all clubs are being forced into selling homegrown players on because of PSR. This is just the way that football is going. It is changing. The one-club players don't exist anymore. You've just got to do what you've got to do to make the money and balance the books and fund producing better players and bringing better players into the football club. And that comes with the likes of the homegrown players being sold off. And if Rashford doesn't perform and United look at it again, it has to be a big decision. And I think the big decision will be made, and Marcus Rashford will be shipped out of Manchester United next summer. I just don't think, and I'll say this again, I'm only bringing up the international side because it's international week and we're having to deal with all this stuff. But I just feel like Marcus Rashford's football career for England is over until he moves to another club. That's how I feel. I don't think he's got it in him anymore. I don't think he's got that drive at Manchester United. He's not got that hunger. You can see it in his game. It's really affected him mentally, I think. His confidence is dead. And I don't think that Marcus Rashford is going to... I don't think Ten Hag is going to be able to help Marcus Rashford. I don't think he can get more out of him. He's supposed to be at the pinnacle of his career and at his height of his career, and he's getting worse. And that is a massive problem. I think a change of environment, a change of scene, and a different viewpoint, and just a different culture. I'll get away from the Manchester United culture, get away from the big hoo-ha that is Manchester United. You only have to look at, I know it's a different scenario in Mason Greenwood. But look what's happening with him over in Spain, how he adapted there and got a new lease of life. And now moving on to France with Marseille and De Zerbi running the show there. Like, how well he's actually playing. Like, the pressure is off. And I just think he needs that freedom again, Marcus Rashford. And sadly, I just don't think we're ever going to see the days of Marcus Rashford from 2 seasons ago in a United shirt again. I'm just going off what I'm watching right now. And I put everything down to what's happened over last season. Him not having international football. It is a massive slap in the face for Marcus Rashford. And if you don't bounce back from that and you don't use that as the big trigger to actually say, I need to really get my ass in gear here. I really need to do something about this. I am personally doing something wrong. I must be. Then if that doesn't give you the nudge and the push to actually try and change or do something different, then I honestly fear for him. I do. And I don't want Marcus Rashford's career to just disappear off the planet. I don't. But right now in the United shirt, it's not working for him. And the proof is in the pudding, is in the eating, as our man Graham would say. And that is, if you're not, as a Manchester United striker and a first team starter for Manchester United, week in, week out, which he is, and you can't deny it, and you're not getting in that England side, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You shouldn't be one of the highest paid English forwards in the league playing for Manchester United and not in that England side. You can say I'm being Manchester United arrogant there in that, and that Man United players should be in that England side, but you've been there before. You've been consistently in that England side. Now you're not. Why? Is it the manager? Is it the player's attitude? Is it just his love for football again? Has he lost it? But international football, you look at it, you've got the players that are going away that are playing well, and you've got players in that Manchester United side now, Jadon Sancho, you could add to that from last season as well, that have just lost their way. And it's within the Manchester United little bubble that's caused it, I feel. I'm going to get into some of your chat on everything we've been talking about. It is just a bit of an open book here this morning with everything going on international duty. Obviously, there's no big news, so we're just going through the international scene and the issues that it might bring Manchester United, because it's not the usual ones. I'm actually looking at this international break. Like, it's crap for us, but I think this is a good one for Manchester United. I think the break from the Liverpool game, actually taken away from Manchester United world for a couple of weeks, is good. Obviously, we've got the injury situation with players having a bit more time to recover and come back while United are not playing games. Players that need game time, getting game time. Obviously, this weekend we'll see Agate get some game time as well. Leacher back in action again consistently with no repercussions of his injuries at all. This is brilliant news for Manchester United there. Of Dalot and Bruno both starring for Portugal again. Eriksen having a great game for Denmark. And you know what? Like I said, that just the Eriksen one alone there, I want to see if there's anyone who's actually got an opinions on Eriksen, if he can be used differently. I was commenting on his claim that our players have performed as badly for other managers, so he thinks it is not Erik ten Hag's fault, says the judge. Not sure what you mean by that one, but it sounds like people are actually commenting on what I was saying there between each other, which is fine. United Spotlight says Rashford isn't learning anything. He's at Poundland Jamie Vardy. He suits a counter-attacking team, same as Bruno, and we're no longer a counter team. So get rid of them for people who fit. Look, Bruno can fit. Look, Portugal are not a counter-attacking side. They are a dominant possession-based football side, and Bruno fits. So I can't have this that Bruno's a counter-attacking side player, because Portugal are not that. They control the ball. They have technical players all over the pitch, and Bruno is in that team every single week. So, yeah, Bruno doesn't have to be playing counter-attacking football to actually fit. Rashford has only ever had 2 good seasons under Ole and under Erik ten Hag in his whole United career. Anonymous says, it seems like Erik ten Hag will be out by December with potential lost games with tough fixtures. Andreas says, Adam Rashford is not good enough. Forget about getting back to his best. This is how he plays, mate. He is not a smart player. He's just a pace merchant, and he doesn't even use his pace anymore. Oh, pace and skill works. Rashford's got skills. I don't care what anyone says. He has. We've seen it before. He has got skills. He's lost his confidence completely. It's left him. And when it leaves you like it has Rashford, it looks like you haven't got anything else. And he's not using his pace. He's scared of using his pace. He is shot, Marcus Rashford. He really is. It's like he's been infected by that, by the jitters or whatever you want to call them. What would you say it is? It's like that sort of like, I don't know what it is. In a few different sports, they've got like in golf, you've got the shanks, haven't you? It's just, you can't get it out of your head. Like, it's mentally affecting what your ability is as a player. You're scared to use what abilities you've got simply because your head's telling you that you're not got it anymore. I think that's where Rashford is. I think it is completely mental that he has lost his way. Big up, Adam, FUTV Army says, Stephanie, thank you. I think Rashford might be finished. Ineos are ruthless in their pursuit of excellence. You don't spend 1.3 billion to be a loser. Ineos, like I said, will be brutal, and that's why Rashford was on that list of possibles to be leaving first out of the door next summer. That's why I put him in there on the list. I do believe that Marcus Rashford is going to be one that is considered for the chop if he doesn't book his ideas up. Al Max says, what club would pay Rashford 350 per week? Good luck selling that contract. It depends if Marcus Rashford wants to play football. It's going to take a manager to come in and say, look, you're not good enough, and drop him. And then his reality will be, what am I going to do now? Coming out and having interviews last season saying my commitment should never be questioned to football and everything like that. Well, it is being questioned because it doesn't look like you're committed on the pitch. That's what it looks like. And he's going to have to take a pay cut to go somewhere else. United are going to have to try and move him on somehow. And that'll be Ineos' biggest challenge. But I think they will be open to selling Marcus Rashford. And someone will look past this. Someone will look at the 30-goal season. Someone will look at what he's done in moments in games and what he can do. And maybe think that they can use him better. I think Rashford playing with less pressure on him is a different animal. You know, look at the freedom he played with under lockdown. And that was a big cover-up lockdown, wasn't it? When we were playing with no fans in the stadium. Because everyone looks great in training. And that's all them games were. They were training games. With no pressure from the fans. No one really looking in. Loads of space. Loads of freedom. Look how the Man United players played. That was like some of the most exciting football that United have played. The last time I seen United play real, attractive, fast-flowing football was in lockdown when we came back under Ollie. That was when United looked dangerous. And that was with no fans in the stadium. And like no pressure. And yeah, like everybody can do it on the training ground. Everyone's got the abilities. Every single Man United player in this squad has got massive and massive ability. And they are quality and good enough to play for United. But mentally not strong enough. That's the difference. When you've got 70,000 fans screaming at you every single week when you make a bad decision, can you handle that? Can you suck that in, just forget about it, and carry on playing your game? That's the difficult bit, and that has always been the issue with players coming to United. It's the expectation level. And I think Rashford, being through the youth and giving that chance early doors, helped him. But now everyone's expecting him, as the most senior player at Manchester United, to perform, and he's just not doing it. And it filters out, the negativity filters through the team. It starts affecting other players. And I'm not just saying Rashford's the cause of everyone else playing crap. It's not him. He's his own problem right now. The other players have got to take responsibility for their game as well, because they have been just as bad. But I'm just looking at the international side right now, and you've got a star player, or used to be a star player at United, who is now obviously being noticed for the wrong reasons. That's why he's not in the England side. You can say that we're all witch hunting Marcus Rashford all you want. But really, like, the proof is there. He's not in the England squad anymore. Manchester United fans are calling for other players to start ahead of him. These are signs that things are going wrong. And they have taken a nosedive. And that is Marcus Rashford's career right now, sadly. I don't think Ten Hag's the right manager to get the best out of him. I think if he keeps playing him, he's not going to learn anything. I think he needs to drop him and let him sit on the sidelines, think about things. Well, he keeps playing him. He probably thinks he's doing better. And I will never understand. And the comments that Ten Hag came out with last season, we'll keep playing Marcus Rashford because he will find his form again. We'll keep playing him. And there's another game lost. There's another game lost. Well, we'll keep playing him. He'll find it. How many games are you going to lose out before this man is going to actually score? And eventually, it's too late. We're out of the Carabao Cup. We're out of the Europa League. We're nowhere near the top 4. And you're sacked. Honestly, you have to see it. Like, Ten Hag is the common denominator here. He's in charge of all of these players. And he's in charge of dropping Marcus Rashford. He needs to do it, and I think it's for the better of him as well. I think it's for the better of both Ten Hag and Marcus Rashford. That was your morning update, everyone. That went quite quick, actually. Obviously, not much to talk about. International football is here. We'll be back later on today around lunchtime, 12 o'clock show, 6:30 this evening as well. Just with your updates and everything going down, bringing you everything around with the club. Make sure you've hit that subscribe button. Please, everybody, make sure you've hit the bell notification as well to make sure that you don't miss out on any Manchester United content at all or any updates with the club. I've got you covered here on Forever United TV. Make sure you've also give the video a like on the way out. We got over 200 there. Thank you, guys. I know it's a bit boring when international football's on, but just take it as a breather. Be excited that you can see these players for what they really are, and actually be excited that Manchester United have got the opportunity to, well, I won't say excited, but take it as a positive that we can bring some injured players back and get them fully recovered. And then also, we can look ahead to actually trying to plan for our next game. Ten Hag must be working overtime right now. He really must. But that is it. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate your time, as always. Again, make sure you like the video on the way out. Make sure that you are subscribed. And I will see you all at midday.